Welcome. It's Friday night, it's 9 p.m., and we are back here on
How to
Ace
Ace
Your
Your
Career.
Career.
So, guys, like you all know, we come here every Friday night at 9 p.m., and we are here in Pune, and I'm sure people in Pune are experiencing the chill.
A little
Weather,
bit, yeah.
the weather is beautiful, throats are hurting. So, we carry on the session again, this time for something which is important to your career.
Yeah.
So basically, we come here every Friday night at 9 p.m. to help you how to grow in your career, how to ace in your career, especially for mid-age people, people with 12 to 15 plus years of experience. When they have been working, they stagnate in the career, that is where they come to us. Or they have done well, now they want to shift into something new. That's where they come to us. Or probably the normal issues, not getting a promotion, having a toxic boss, not a great work culture, not experiencing work life balance, something that they want to change in their job or their career. That's where I come into picture. I'm Nutan, I'm a career and a life coach. I've been coaching people for 10 plus years now.
Yeah, I'm Dheeraj. I'm a life coach, business coach, and a relationship coach. Both of us put together, we create this company, ND Life Coaching.
Coaching.
So today's topic that we are taking is something which is extremely important. This is talking about, a lot of people, they always, I'm so busy. I'm so busy.
Well, I would like to ask each one of you here attending this session right now. How many? I wish we were on Zoom and I would have asked you to raise hands. How many people experience this? You call someone and say, "Oh God, I don't have the time. Oh God, I'm really sorry. I'm extremely busy this week. I was extremely busy last year." Their busyness never seems to
And
stop.
absolutely.
Anyone who's experienced that, I would love to see that in the comment section. Whether you've experienced such people in your life who are constantly busy throughout their life, never seem to find time, never seem to find time for holiday, for
True.
vacation, for relationship, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think they end up in a great space.
So, people often fall into a cycle of busyness due to a combination of external pressures, okay, internal beliefs, and poor time management habits. Here's a breakdown of the main causes. So, the first big reason that we have identified is societal and cultural pressure, which means perception of productivity. Now, of late, in many cultures, being busy is seen as a badge of honor or a sign of success. So, if you have free time, अरे क्या विल्ला आदमी है. But if you are busy, oh, this guy's so busy. That's great. Okay, so that's the what.
Yes, so I think Dheeraj, especially this works more for women uh, who are homemakers. They want to keep themselves absolutely busy because they believe that if they sit down for some time, then people will start judging them. So most of the people, why they are busy or they seem to be busy is because they have the fear of feeling judged.
So true.
If someone sees them relaxing, they might feel they're lazy, they don't have any ambitions, they don't want to do anything out of their life. That is why they want to keep running. And because that's working on their psyche mentally, all they keep doing is the minute they're up on their toes in the morning till the moment they go to sleep, they're constantly doing some activity.
Absolutely. So that's number one. The number two reason that we're able to identify is lack of clarity on priorities. Okay, this is so common. Okay, so I've seen off late been coaching for many years now, more than a decade. One of the biggest challenge that I've seen is people is they're so unclear on what exactly do they want out of life. If you ask them what then you don't want, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, and if you ask the question, what do you want? No idea. So unclear goals is one of the reason why without because still you don't have a clear understanding is what's truly important. People tend to fill their time with the low value tasks. Like Tony always says that we always major on minor things and we always minor major things. That's what happens.
So, what happens is you're constantly responding to external demands, emails, notifications, messages, WhatsApp call, and that creates an illusion of busyness but it actually lacks focus. Now, how many of you listening to this would say that minute there is a notification, you just lose focus and your mind goes there, and you don't realize that you were focused on something you were doing, you were in a flow, that one notification breaks that entire flow, and coming back and doing, getting that same momentum will not, you really don't know how long will it take. And if this is a constant thing which is happening because there are apps on the phone, they're constantly ringing, then imagine how much time you're taking for a task which is not really important, but because there are so many distractions, probably which takes 10 minutes may end up being half an hour.
Absolutely. The third reason, poor boundaries. Okay. Now, this means I have seen a common problem in a lot of people, and that is they have a challenge that they cannot say a no.
No.
This is one big reason. I don't know how many of you are there who find it extremely difficult to say a no. And because they can't say no, they keep taking so many commitments, and which leads to they are burdened by so many things. They are all loaded by schedule. One small reason is I cannot say a no. And that's why
Well,
everybody.
I'm guilty of that. There was a time when anyone says anything, the first thing that I would say is, yeah, why not? And not everything really seems important, right? So be at the place where you're really required. Yes, important. Be at your relationships. Yes, very important. But anyone is putting up any task on you and you're just saying a yes because you don't want to make people feel that you don't say a yes. That means there is somewhere that pressure that if I don't do this, I'll not be able to please this person. And if I don't please this person, probably I'll end up in the wrong space in that relationship. So, constantly worried about again, what will that person think about me? You end up doing tasks which are not really important for you. You start prioritizing their task over yours.
Yes. The fourth one is overestimating your own capacity. Okay, like optimism bias. Now we found out that there are some people who underestimate actually how long their task will take, and due to this, they always lead to overcommitted them to the others, and that's where the challenge. Like for example, somebody which is going to take maybe a month, probably you'll say ना अरे 10-12 दिन में हो जाएगा. Now you said 10-12 दिन में हो जाएगा, and now when you do all the calculation you realize that it is going to take 45 days and I've said 10-12 days, and that is why you have to go on and on to handle that.
So, today only we were laughing at our house help. Anything you tell her, don't mint that. 2 minutes
That's
she's
a
going to be
common
there.
answer.
But that 2 minutes will be actually half an hour.
Yeah.
So it's not only to do with people there, but even working people at different levels often underestimate how long the task will take, and that is why they end up overcommitting. Now, when they're overcommitted, they have committed to so many people, then obviously they're trying to juggle,
Oh
multitask.
my
They want
God.
to do this, they want to do that, they're spread all over the place, and that is what reduces their effectiveness, and of course just creates a false sense of productivity.
Yep.
End of the day they feel great because they were busy throughout the day.
They were multitasking. Okay, like one of my sister, I'm sure she's listening to me now. She has this challenge. So if I ask her where you, bhaiya, bas 5 minute mein pahunch rahe ho, and I ask her where are you, she would be in FC Road, and I'm here in Balewadi High Street. Now imagine it's impossible to refine, but she's told me 5 minutes. She's told someone, and that's how there is a challenge because she's optimum bias also and multitasking. So that's one. The next fifth reason is fear and avoidance. Okay, this is something which is increasing day by day. That a lot of people have started living in the concept of fear of failure as if it's a stigma. Okay, so fear of failure, staying busy can be one of the way to avoid tackling meaningful but challenging tasks.
So like for example, let's take a kid's example. He knows his exams are right here, and if the parent walks and they say, okay, tell me what did you study in this textbook, which chapter, and if the parent is going to push him there, don't disturb me, I'm going to finish something else, because he knows he'll be caught if he's pointed out that this is a lesson he's not studied. So many a times when we are not sure that this is how I'll end up in this task, what do? I ensure that I avoid all those things which will lead me to that, and I'll keep myself busy so that if someone comes and asks me at work, why did you not do this? Oh, well, I had 100 things on the task.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was
So
finishing the
true.
90th and I missed this.
This could be, I've seen with a lot of salespeople who are not confident about their job, and they know they will get caught up, that they are not able to sell. So if anybody asks, what do you do? Or yeah, I'll just do this paperwork, I'll just do this, I'll just do this, I'll do that. But actually, they will not move towards progressing towards going and meeting the client and closing a deal. That happens with a lot of people.
So that is why constant busyness keeps them from getting confronted in such situations where probably they are uncomfortable and they're not able to manage those thoughts or their emotions.
Okay, this is the, oh my God. The sixth one, you're going to love it and you can relate. I'm sure a lot of people are going to relate. Digital overload. Okay, which means technology distraction. I think we were very fortunate probably 30 years back when we started working. We didn't have this technology distractions. Okay, so we had work and then probably friends, family, and that's it. Not much of TV, not much of a stuff going on. Today, technology distraction, frequent interruption, smartphone, email, social media, WhatsApp. This creates a cycle of constant activity without meaningful output. Like I can give you one example. And I remember there's a client when I was working out for certain details. He need 2 hours a day to do that project. He said, I don't have that 2 hours. And then we sat and we came out to the conclusion. We came to a conclusion that my friend, he's 35, 36. He's spending 4 hours on social media.
And another challenge has become is when you're working remotely. So when you're at least in a group, you're focused on your work. But when you're working remotely, any slight noise, instantly you get diverted there. And that is why it's become very difficult. The line between work and personal time has just blurred. And that is why you feel even more exhausted. You're busy throughout the day. You wake up in the morning, you have an email waiting for you. You're wanting to go to sleep, your WhatsApp notification is telling something has come in your inbox. It's really become the world where we are so overloaded by messages coming from everywhere.
Oh God, so many notifications.
And then, of course, the final one, which is misaligned identity. What does that mean? It means some people equate their self-worth with how much they can do, leading them to stay busy even when it is unnecessary.
Yeah.
Self-worth, because if you feel you have free time and you're not doing anything, you're enjoying your life, you start feeling that you're wasting time, and by default you start reducing your self-worth. That reduces your confidence. Oh my God, I have so much free time on the world, that means I'm not really at the right space. Right, the minute you become that identity of staying busy, ticking those to-do list becomes your identity, you will always remain busy, but busy in business and busy in busyness. Busyness is constantly doing activities without any kind of end results.
Yep.
So you're just not being able to create a balance between what is really important.
So let's understand, how do we break this cycle? Because I think you all now understood that where are you busy in and what happens. But I'm sure you're also keen to know how do you break the cycle. So before we reach there, recognizing these causes is the first step towards change. Till the time you not recognize that you're just busy in busyness, you'll always be busy. I'm saying too much of busy. Okay. But okay.
So guys, those who are listening to us right now, if you can identify with any of these 7 causes, please put it down there in the chat box, in the comment section, so that others also can relate. Not everyone can come up and own it, but when others start putting in, you also become a part of that and say, yes, even I go through that situation. So please put it there. Out of these 7, I would reiterate them once again. First, it could be some kind of cultural pressure. So there's a perception that if you're busy, you're productive, you're doing something out of your life. So culture is one reason to put that pressure.
Second could be lack of clarity on priorities.
Third,
Third,
can't say no. So you can't set boundaries.
fourth, overestimating the capacity.
Fifth, it's fear of failure. So you don't look at the important task, you just keep yourself occupied so that you can defend yourself that I had so much on the plate. That is why I couldn't do this.
The sixth one is you're digitally overloaded. Damn, 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 damn. So many notifications. And finally, misaligned identity. See where you are and please write in the chat box so that we can understand.
Great.
So,
What resonates with you the most? Once you know what's keeping you busy, the next step is to know the strategies to overcome this busyness. We would once again like to reiterate, feeling busy all the time doesn't necessarily mean you are productive. True productivity comes from focusing on what aligns with your goals and values. And here it is. How do you make the shift?
the number one
First
way,
thing, yes.
okay, prioritize ruthlessly. So when I say ruthlessly means you need to identify your tasks that truly matter and contribute to your long-term goal. So for example, whatever that you're doing today, if this is not taking to your final destination, then that whatever you're doing, you're just wasting your time. Though you feel I'm busy doing it, but this is not going to give you that desired promotion, that desired salary, that desired change in whatever that you're wanting to do. So that is why it's so important that whatever that you're doing, you need to be very clear. This is aligned, contribute towards your long-term goal or the final destination.
So there are generally these tools which are used, Eisenhower, ABC prioritization. These are time management tools which help you focus on high impact activities. And we will not leave you high and dry there. We are promising you that next Friday in our live session, we'll really deep dive into these two time management goals. How do you use these tools so that you create a huge impact on your work life, which means you're truly absolutely productive? So let's discuss those in our next live. But as of now, first is using these time management tools so that you can prioritize ruthlessly. Second one,
You need to say no to distraction, which means you need to recognize that tasks that drain your energy but add little value. So don't waste time on stuff that you've done hours and it's not adding any value. And then end of the year, you realize I worked so hard, so many hours I worked, but then I did not get promotion. You know why? Because you were busy doing something which did not add value to the organization. It was just 10%, and there's somebody else maybe did less, but it was adding value 90%, and that's why they got the promotion. So be sure that you're focusing on something that's adding value. Second, set boundaries for your time, whether it's turning off notification or politely declining low priority commitments.
so this we have been sharing. I'll share it once again. There are times when our phone is off,
Yep.
off the internet. So no WhatsApp, no communication. It's just out there. Unless there's an emergency, if someone calls, so the phone is on, but no other distractions. There are certain groups that I'm in. I have to be a part of them, but the notifications are on mute. So whenever I get a chance, I will then go back and I look which are the messages I have to reply. Others just go there, they exist. Till you don't have this kind of discipline, believe me, you will not realize where you're spending your time and you'll be so busy.
The third one is batch similar tasks, which means group similar tasks. Like, for example, replying to emails and making calls, connect it together so that it happens in the same time, so that you can avoid constant task switching with waste time and energy. So, group similar tasks.
So what I do generally is I have certain time frames. Now, like we all know, there are a lot of things we all keep doing towards work. So for me also, it's time dividing where I'm doing writing, where I'm doing my coaching sessions. There are some clients who would have written something and I need to reply to them. So I always ensure that I keep some time in between my sessions. And I know those are the times when I will actually pick up my phone and reply to a WhatsApp message, or probably make a call to a client who wants some immediate connection or some immediate response from me. But these are tasks which have been blocked by certain time frames, some 15-minute slot somewhere. And I know that is the time I'm going to get back to my phone. I don't say I'm doing something and I'm going to pick up. It's a distraction, right? So these kind of things can be put together. Now, if you're going to reply to 10 people, Together, you will take probably a minute, 1.5 minute. But if you keep doing that in between times, then probably you'll end up using 10 minutes. That is why club these together, where you can at one time reply to all the emails, maybe 2 times a day, maybe 3 times a day. But that time is blocked. That is where you're doing all these tasks. And once people around you are used to this behavior of yours, they'll not have a challenge. So they will know this person will respond in this given time. And you need to respect that for yourself. So batch these similar tasks.
The fourth one is delegate and automate. I think this is the most favorite thing of my life, and she's also now got it. That is, we have ensured
Yes.
that we only do what we are best at.
Yes.
Remaining everything, and I'm not joking, remaining everything in our life, let it be running our house, let it be taking care of the work, other stuffs in the company and business, we have delegated. Each and everything is delegated, or we have leveraged automation tools to streamline repetitive activities. Like, for example, thanks to automation payment system, thanks to so many automation stuff that we don't have to really spend time on doing those stuff. So that's something which I believe that for me, one of the biggest reason money buys is time. Because with money, I can hire people, I can use technology so that I can buy that time, which I can use it to fulfill my mission and purpose. And that's to helping people, coaching people, serving people, instead of doing certain things which is not required, people can handle it. So delegate and automate.
So, Dheeraj, it's very important to understand this. This is one of the most critical things that I and Dheeraj have done. That is why we could focus on work. Like, for example, learning is a constant in our industry. If we are not learning, we are not upgrading, if you don't know what are the tools, if you're not attending workshops, then probably we'll be left behind. And it's very, very important, because if we are not updated, we are not really doing enough for our clients. At the same time, when you keep on learning, this memory of yours gets revived. Curiosity is an amazing thing. But you know what? Learning, and I'm sure all of you out there will agree to this, learning always takes the last priority.
Yeah.
You're out there, you're working, so external demands from your family, and you keep planning. So you buy a course, you put it up there, you keep looking at that, you keep looking at, I'll start it tomorrow, day after tomorrow, 1st of Jan, and you bought so many books, so many courses, but you don't end up doing that. You know why? Because you can't delegate. So I feel that if you don't realize what is important, you'll never be able to delegate some things which may be closer to you, but they're not really relevant. For me, for example, one of the most beautiful things that I enjoy was cooking. But I had to choose between adding value to my professional life and cooking. So, literally, almost everything in the household is delegated to someone else. When it comes to my banking, it is delegated to someone else. Accounting, delegated to someone else. I just keep a check. I supervise. My marketing, delegated to someone else. Because if we keep doing everything, you may end up saving money. But what you will not have with you is time. And that is why some things which are more important and critical for you, you will not be able to.
So sorry, the technique is very simple.
Yes.
Figure out what is that only you can do. You have mastery, you can't give it to anybody else. Okay, that's what is, like, for example, health. Now only you can work on your health, nobody else is going to come. So doing that 1 hour of exercise is a must, because no matter how many people you delegate to do exercises, it's not going to help you. So health, then spending time with your loved ones, only you can give that kind of time to your wife, to your husband, to your children. Nobody else can come and do that. So there are things like meditation, like learning, like exercise. There are so many things that changes your life. But to remove that time, you need to ensure that all of the things which are really not that critical, not that important, somebody else can do it. You just have to train them, and that's it. And then you are only focused on delegating and doing something and what you are best at. Because what you are best at, if you do and you keep doing that, you keep learning, you keep upgrading, and that's how you have mastery on something. And when you have mastery, that's the time you will be adding so much of value to your work life, to your family life, to your friends life, and that's how you become valuable. So that is the key here.
So, all of you listening out there, can you just think of one thing? which is very, very crucial for you. You need to attend to that right now, but you've not been able to do that because you've not learned to delegate enough. Is it your health? Is it something that you can learn and upgrade knowledge so that you can do well in your career? Is it some time to someday close relationship where you've not been able to spend that time? What is that which is really very important, critical, but though it's there on your list, you've just not been able to find that time? Please put it down there. You either put it to us so we know what you're talking about, or write it on your notebook, put it on your phone, and ensure that you do it from today, because that tomorrow never comes for something which is really very important. Then, of course, the fifth one.
You need to schedule downtime, which means productivity isn't just about doing, it's about resting also. It's so important that you take some rest so that you prioritize time for yourself, your family, activities that recharge you. So, like, tomorrow our friend is coming and she's going to be here for 3 days. The only reason she's coming here because she works so hard and she comes here, twice a year and just comes here to rest. Nothing. She just rests for 3 days so that she recharges herself. She's able to, think properly. She's able to, build, get that energy, that time for herself, and then she goes back and again 6 months she delivers. So scheduling downtime, you need to reset things for yourself. You need to take that rest time. You need to prioritize time for yourself. Otherwise, no matter you'll have all the money on this earth. You'll be 60, but nobody's with you, all alone. You know why? Because you didn't give time to your loved ones, your family, your friends, your society. And now in 60, you want all of them to give you time, but they're not interested.
So, we ensure that we do that for ourselves also, because I know that certain activities, when you do, you get so recharged,
Yeah.
that your energy, your enthusiasm is double of what you could be doing. So, probably you will be able to do much more in the same given time frame when you're excited, enthusiastic, you have all the energy, you're bubbling out of energy, right? But when you feel exhausted, you need to know where is that cutoff. Take that rest time and start working back again. So some people use this. They work for 90 minutes, they take a 10 minutes break. It works that way better for us. For both of us, we start a day at morning 5:30, we end up our day at 11. But we take one gap in between. That's a half an hour gap. That recharges us. And then we are back again with the same energy, sitting and doing everything that it takes. Even at 10:30, 11, when we are delivering the workshops, we are full of energy. We are bursting with enthusiasm. So it's for you to decide what is that downtime on a daily basis and what is that downtime on a regular basis.
Yeah.
That you can do so that you're recharged and you're really living life fully.
Absolutely. For us, one meal in a week with our friends and spending 3, 4 hours is a must. It's not a should, it's a must. We made this, I think, more than a decade it's been that we ensure. And that 4 hours regenerates all of us so to a different level. So then again, next week we are doing so well. So the last one is reflect and adjust regularly. At the end of each week, review what worked and what didn't. This is so important. Like, for example, if you've gone to a gym or you're exercising regularly and you're not checking on are you really losing either inches or your weight, or you're building muscles, or you're building stamina, or there is flexibility, then it's no point doing it. And then after almost a year, you realize, "Arey, kuch hua hi nahi." So that is why it's so important that whatever that you're doing, you need to review what worked and what didn't. Adjust your approach to stay aligned with what matters the most. This is so important. Okay. Now, by shifting your mindset from busy to productive, you not only achieve more, but you'll also create space for relationship, health, growth, and also contribution where you get personal fulfillment.
So, what's that one step you will take today to turn your busyness into meaningful productivity? I feel beyond this, there's one more very, very important, crucial question that you need to ask yourself. Are you really happy? Are you really enjoying your life? Like I would say, both of us, we really live a very meaningful, a very fulfilled life. If you don't know how to do that, then it's time for you to really come to our workshop, which is on
On the next Friday, 29, 9 p.m., we have an amazing workshop where we will be going to deep dive in the same topic that we are talking about, the same subject.
And this time, this workshop is all about how we have designed our life, how we are utilizing our life to live a life of happiness and fulfillment. And if, guys, you're really keen and interested, because you know what? If you utilize all your time in life in being busy and doing things which don't really matter, at the end of life, you'll have regrets on some things which you missed, which you had to give time, but you couldn't. So, if you want to live a happy and a meaningful life, if you want to have an amazing career, if you want to grow in life, be successful, and still be happy, then join us for our workshop on Friday, next Friday at 9 p.m. We still are going to give you a live session which will run, it'll be recorded, streamed for you on that day. But we are doing this workshop next Friday at 9 p.m. for 90 minutes. We'll teach you how to design your time to have an
Yes.
amazing, happy,
Absolutely.
meaningful life and an amazing, successful career.
So see you again on next Friday on 9 p.m. on How to Ace